Coming up on this episode of The Village Idiom.
Yeah, the gist was...
I know this episode isn't about tigers, but have you ever met someone who doesn't say tiger? They say tiger?
No.
Oh.
I met cougars. I know a few.
In glass houses.
I'd like to name them right now.
Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week we choose a popular saying. We take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, and if we're lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins. But we're also going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I am Skitty.
And this week's idiom is...
People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Nice.
Right? People in glass houses should not throw stones.
Absolutely. I think it's one of those, like... It's a good case in being self-aware.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I heard a little derivation on it from, it was like the translucent museum of like porcelain toilets.
Oh.
And it was people in glass houses shouldn't stow thrones. Which cracked me up.
So it's funny you said that because when I was looking up glass houses... anything, a glass toilet did show up.
That is like the worst idea.
It was like worst things.
Why would you want to see any of that?
And it was, the picture was a perfectly clear.
I, for number one, would not want to have anything to do with that.
Yeah. I would never be more tempted to flush weird things down the toilet than if I could watch it go.
There's also a couple things.
At least you know, like who clogged the toilet? Who ate corn?
It was you. Still got corn stuck in your teeth. It was you. I know it was you. Know that there was a new smart appliance that goes in your toilet. I don't know if you saw the ads for that.
No.
So it was like a smart detector thing that you whiz on, and it actually will so whatever can be detected through one's whiz. It was like a health diagnostic thing. I'm not joking around. It's real.
It just floats in the water, or is it like a target practice?
I think it goes on the side. Yeah. And so, yeah.
So for what, like diabetics?
I don't know.
Just for guys?
I don't know.
How are the women aiming?
They just lean a little.
They aim?
I think they just lean a little, and that's where it generally goes.
Lean a little, and a little bit. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a health diagnostic thing.
Well, you remember our friend Ryan, who used to be a coworker of ours, and he was oh, I know what it was. It was a Kickstarter for a mug that basically did that.
Yeah.
And you put anything you want into the mug, and it would tell you the ingredients of what you put in. And we're like, well, don't you know what you put in? He goes, oh, first thing I'm doing when I get that is taking a pee in it.
I was going to say, it's like, you want to, if there was a way to know, but you wouldn't want to cross-contaminate that product.
I know that's the problem. I don't think he'd care.
Yeah.
He'd boil it.
What's
and
in
keep
here?
on going. You don't want to drink from that cup. We've done so many science experiments in that cup.
No, so if it would know if like, oh, this is apple juice. I guess the other way you could tell is by tasting it. Oh, this is coffee. Oh, this is milk.
I think it's more specific than that.
Oh, okay.
I think it's down to percentages and chemicals. And
oh, okay. Because otherwise it's like, this is stupid. If it could detect like how many carbohydrates.
What am I drinking?
You are drinking water.
You are drinking too much.
Yeah. You're an alcoholic. I hope.
Anyway, look at that, how we brought in two meanings of the word glass. He had a smart glass, a glass toilet, glass houses,
thrones,
glass tiger. Remember Glass Tiger?
Don't forget about me when I'm gone.
Is that theirs?
I don't know.
Oh, that was one of my sister's favorite bands, and I'm like, really? Glass Tiger? It just felt like when I was in high school, it felt like a adult contemporary kind of
a paper tiger, a thing. Tiger Belly. That's the Bobby Lee podcast.
Is it?
Yeah. Tiger Belly.
Tiger Butter. Tiger Woods. Tiger Williams. Remember Tiger Williams from the Canucks?
Yes. Yeah, his nose looked like he'd been mauled by a tiger.
Yeah, exactly. He'd come face to face with the glass. I think he was a no helmet guy. Oh, no, that's Harold Schneps. Wow, I'm having flashbacks.
Welcome to the 80s.
Yeah. Anyway, Glass Tiger. I don't know about Paper Tiger. Is that a movie?
I don't know. Just phrases that pop into mind. Or
Eye of the Tiger?
Chasing, like catch a tiger by the tail. Or there's something about riding the tiger. You can't. Oh, it's from the band 5440. You can't be careful. It's something about riding the tiger. Be careful because you can't get off of it. yeah. The gist was.
I know this episode isn't about tigers, but have you ever met someone who doesn't say tiger? They say tiger.
No.
Oh,
I met cougars. I know a few
in glass houses.
I'd like to name them right now.
So I also looked up. I'm like, I wonder if there are glass houses other than greenhouses, because there's lots of that. So there is a famous, like, you can go to the Glass.House.com, and there's a Wikipedia page for the glass house. It's some house that was built in the 40s that is just couldn't look more simple, like just a square rancher flat roofed house in the middle of the woods ish. So it's kind of hard to see from the road, I guess, which is what you'd want. But no drapes, no blinds. It is a glass house. There's like, oh, there's the living room, there's the kitchen, and the other side there's the bedroom. But
you just have to have extensive,
not a closed bedroom.
Extensive effort to, like plumbing, electricity, like those things would just make a place ugly, and so you have to just be smart about how you designed it. Yeah,
right.
Because they have those glass bathrooms
very
in the cities.
Minimalistic. Yeah, with the tinted windows.
Yeah, you shut the door and
tinted windows don't mean nothing. They know who's inside. No,
it's tricky to rock your
yeah.
mind.
Okay, good.
Okay. Wow.
Imagine if that was about those downtown bathrooms.
Anyone born with the year 2 in the front, you're not going to have a clue what's going on today.
That if I ever get to use one of those bathrooms and you close the door and the window frosts or tints, that's for sure what I'm singing in there. Tinted windows don't mean nothing. No, I'm going to hang around outside playing that song.
And filming.
Did you hear about,
as people go in and out.
Did you hear about the bathroom? I think it was in New York, that one of those bathrooms that it stopped working.
That's unfortunate.
But the people inside, you don't, because when you're inside, you can see outside.
Right. They didn't know.
They didn't know it was not.
I think in general, I would be like just so nervous about that you might do your business quickly and then.
Oh, how about that? You like that?
Let's just start this all over again, everyone. It's when I think of other glass places that I've been to that have been interesting in California, the Robert Schuller's church, the Crystal Cathedral.
Oh yeah.
There's just tons. It was like not all glass, but it was a glass church. So people in glass churches people who throw stones in the Lord's house. I got nothing.
That's interesting because there's a lot of people getting stoned in the Bible, but not in the Crystal
and in California. There's a lot of people getting stoned. Which is where the Crystal Cathedral is.
One of my first jobs after I graduated, I decided I'm gonna have my own business, and I started washing windows.
Okay.
So I spent about, I don't know, $100. Went to a janitorial supply place. I'm like, if I was gonna do exterior windows, set me up. What do I need? So at that time, I'm a kid. It felt like oh, it was a lot of money. My dad's like, you're investing. You're gonna go, and then I just went with this, telescopic thing and a bucket and all the lessons in the world. Don't use soap, use this, ammonia and water, it's all you need, blah blah blah. I was ready, and then I just went door to door. Hi, would you like to have your windows washed? No? Okay. I can remember the look. I remember what she looks like, the first lady that said yes, because I was so used to no's that I was already pivoting to leave.
Right.
And she's like, that's
awesome.
That sounds great. And I'm like, really? And she's like, do you not want to? Because I was so surprised. Anyway, there are some homes. So I started having somebody else work with me, and there are some homes
franchisees
where there's a lot of windows. Mm-hmm. And so literally when I started, I'd walk up and go, I'll wash all your windows outside for $20. And then you realize some homes, $20 is ridiculous. You just wasted half a day for $20. And it was a learning process. So then you get to know homes, and then you're like, okay, I bet it's going to take this long, so we'll charge this much. And then you would like, no, we need to do a look around. I'll never forget giving a price to this one house. They're like, and it was more than $20. It was probably $100 or something. And then we went around the back. It was one of those like Crystal Cathedral situation where it's just like a million panes lined up. So you can't do it all in one go because there's panes everywhere. Wow. It's like a tiled wall of windows. We were there for all day long. Like, so then it was like, we'll do a walk around first. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you wanted to throw stones. Here's the thing though. People with glass houses shouldn't throw stones. But let's say you're out for a walk and you stumble across an abandoned house size, like a giant greenhouse that is all glass panes, that nobody's ever going to use again, and you're also standing in a pile of golf ball-sized rocks.
Okay.
Is there anything more tempting?
I don't know if I could do that.
Like, I couldn't do it because I know I'm damaging somebody else's property. Mm-hmm. But still,
Might be
like, I know I
might be a little
wouldn't.
tempting.
I know I wouldn't do it, but still,
I don't know if the temptation would grab me for something like that. Just wrecking other people's stuff I would be just guilt-ridden for days.
yeah. Okay, let's say you were allowed to.
I'm allowed to just throw stones through there. Oh yeah. Don't they make places like this where you can just smash
Anger
stuff?
rooms. They do. They have anger rooms where you can either bring in your own, or they'll supply you with bottles and dishes and chuck hammers at it. And
That sounds all right.
let's do that. Is there an anger idiom we could line it up with?
Well, we should. Well, I'm just thinking in terms of fundraising for the ICR. Is that you could just set up like the donation rooms of all like just terrible glass type things, and then just you can charge people to go in and smash stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, and that's like because if it's going in the trash anyways.
That's great.
Okay, so this is my ICR hoodie that from last week that was
ICR, that is from the thrift shop that raises funds for ICR Canada.
yes $12 for this little gem, and so immediately I'm like, I'm not taking that tag off, just to like guarantee your OCD people will not be able to handle it. I want to say a dozen times over between getting it and now that folks are like, oh, you forgot the tag on. It's like, no, it's supposed to be there. It's fine. You know, like a cool,
All the kids are doing
like
it.
a cool baseball cap. You know how they
leave the tag on.
leave the sticker on, leave the tag on, and it drives people crazy, which makes me want to do it more. I have people touch it, preparing to rip it off. Oh, you forgot. I'm like, no. Tell you what I'm doing. It's just a little social experiment to watch people go crazy.
So you could just do that with any new article now? See what happens?
I don't know. This is the
as
newest
soon as
one,
it goes through the wash, though. So it's got to be a
I'm not
certain
gonna wash
article.
it ever.
Yeah, it's a hoodie. You can get away with that for a while.
Yeah. So it's fantastic.
That's really great.
It's funny.
Well, I hope you're promoting the Canadian nonprofit when it comes up.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, I don't think we've said people who have glass houses shouldn't throw stones, what it actually means.
We should probably get into some of maybe
We could get into origins, but the saying people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones is used to say that people who have faults shouldn't criticize other people with the same faults or any faults. Like, nobody's perfect kind of attitude. Like,
I can't
believe you're wearing a tag. Oh, I'm wearing a tag.
This is
People
like
in
a
glass houses shouldn't throw
fantastic
stones.
first line of people's like self-defense when someone's like at you for something, and then you immediately go to their faults.
Right.
As to like, oh, whatever. Maybe you should clean that up a bit. It's like, oh, so you're Mr. Clean Person now, are you?
Right.
Yeah. And then you come at them with like, it's like, so whatever way it gets dished out, because like it's like late people. It's as soon as you start criticizing on late people, that'll be the week that you're late for something, and then
Right.
yeah, just is what it is.
Do you remember that there's an actual term for it so this is an example of this. I just can't think or remember the proper term where people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones can often be just this. Glass houses. Somebody will just go, glass houses, and you know what they mean. Remember we had one episode where there's a word for that when an idiom is shortened because it's so well known you don't have to say all of it.
Glass houses.
Glass houses. All right, before we get into origins, I got a game for you.
Okay, let's hear.
See if you can guess the origin history of... That's redundant, isn't it? The origin history?
The historical origin.
Of the idiom, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. 3 choices, 3 names.
Illegitimate children. Help me here.
3 names, you choose.
Okay.
Did it come from Geoffrey Chaucer?
Canterbury Tales. I like it already. That's my first one. I'm going to go with that one.
Do you want to hear the rest?
I will hear the rest.
Okay. Did it come from George Carlin?
Okay, I want to say it's earlier than that. Okay.
Did it come from Jesus?
That's definitely earlier than that.
Geoffrey Chaucer, George Carlin, and Jesus walk into a glass house. And George makes some joke. Chaucer picks up a rock and Jesus says,
You're forgiven.
"Let he who is without sin cast the first stone."
Oh, man. So there is that classic Bible story, and then there's some do unto others kind of thing that I could rope in there. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm still going Chaucer, but definitely.
Which one's tempting you aside from Chaucer?
It's got to be Jesus. For sure. I can't say Carlin.
That's a safe answer in life, isn't it? It's got to be Jesus.
Jesus, I feel like it's Sunday school. The answer is Jesus. Yeah, it just seems Carlin's too late. Chaucer, there's got to be something in there. A Canterbury Tale issue, but definitely he was without sin. Cast the first stone. That's pretty on the nose too. Chaucer,
final answer.
Final answer, Chaucer.
Well, that whole time you were talking, I was playing our little origin song. But do you want to hear it again?
Sure.
Listen.
It's beautiful.
It's look. You can see the dial moving.
Is you got the volume up?
The volume is up.
Have you checked the specs on the roto girder?
Everything's up. So
Okay.
Origins. I'll check that out.
If only we had some sort of mixing device to be able to.
Yeah, that was
sort
weird.
that out.
I don't know why that's not working, but we'll fix it for next week.
Perfect.
Maybe. We are using new studio equipment. I'm still familiarizing.
This is the first week with some new
myself
equipment.
with it. Okay, origins. Origins go a little something like this. The proverb, "Those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones," is often cited as originating in Chaucer's Troilus and Cressida, I think it's pronounced. Written in 1385, it's an epic poem written in Middle English that tells the story of two tragic lovers against the backdrop of the siege of Troy. It's sometimes cited as Chaucer's best work, actually. And maybe that's why this...
I've never heard of it.
I haven't either. Canterbury's. Maybe it's part of Canterbury's. No, it can't be. Epic poem from 1385. In the poem, the proverb reads this. Oh, by the way, this same story also gave us "all good things must come to an end."
Oh, okay.
So same origin.
I'll be prepared.
So next time when we do that one,
like I wouldn't have forgotten this in 5 minutes.
Jesus.
The answer will still be Jesus.
This is the actual quote, and forgive me for my ill-prepared Middle English. "Who that hath a head of vair," and I looked up vair, it's colored glass. "Who that hath a head of vair, from cast of stones wear him in the wear." So
wow, it's very clever.
It rhymes, but I wouldn't have known what that meant had we not been doing this episode. In 1651, George Herbert used the same phrase, but in a way that's far more recognizable. Did you think I was going to say George Carlin just for a second?
Nope.
1651. The 1651 version of George Carlin. George Herbert used the same phrase, but in a way that's way more recognizable now. "Whose house is of glass must not throw stones at another." So he cleaned it up.
It's just a good motto.
And then first used in America in William and Mary Quarterly, which was a public journal in Virginia. And it's a quote from Benjamin Franklin. He got a lot of credit for quotes that were him just repeating other people.
A lot of credit for being around past the time of the printing press.
So Benjamin Franklin said, "Don't throw stones at your neighbors if your own windows are glass." So Benjamin Franklin quote.
Right. Well, he was being struck by electricity and every other good thing that he did.
Do you know how long he was president for?
Was Franklin president?
No.
Okay.
It was a test.
Okay. Did I pass?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. I'm like, you really threw me off there.
So that is the evolution from the 1300s to the 21st century. And as idioms do, when they're that old, they evolve a little bit to what we now know. And who knows, maybe in 300 years, it'll be
an interesting
glass throw.
And maybe this applies to you, where you can be hardest on people in the areas of your own flaws.
Yeah.
Because you hate it about yourself, so
Probably.
you immediately hate it about other people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Something that we've disorganized, or something that you're like, oh, I'm actually really working on that. And then they're that way, and you want to point it out that you're not that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you are.
That's like people who are...
it's like a projecting of what's going on inside you.
Who have suddenly discovered fitness or a diet. And then you're like, oh.
Here we go.
But that's not really a fault. That's just
an interesting podcast I've been following along to
the Village Idiom.
Huberman Labs.
Never heard of it.
Huberman Labs. I think I was talking a bit about it in one of the previous weeks, about the guy who, with like hormones and how certain things, like natural rhythms of life and all the rest of it. So anyways, his thing from like his natural body state point of view was to not eat in the first hour after you wake up. Yeah, and delay it as long as possible. And which is like, how is that a thing when everyone else will be like, you got to start the day with a good meal?
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It's like, how do you end up trusting anyone?
Well, this is what I do know. I know I've gained all my weight back, but when I was living healthily and exercising all the time, prior to that, I rarely ate breakfast. I almost wouldn't eat all day and then have a big dinner or whatever. So that's delaying about as long as you can. And I got fat. And then when I was getting health advice and following a program, I had to convince myself to start eating breakfasts because it was literally like, I don't want to eat first thing in the morning. And I had to force myself to, and I started losing weight and being healthier. So for me,
I do a version of that, except it's not first thing in the morning. It's like just before I go to sleep, I eat a lot.
Yeah, same thing.
I sleep like the dead. Oh, I sleep so good. It's like, it's not. Oh, I'm sure it's knocking years off my life, but boy, do I sleep well. Yeah, nice.
What's the classic right before bed food of choice?
The fastest thing available.
Oh, just whatever?
Yeah.
It's not like a plate of nachos.
Well, that would be amazing if that showed up.
Oh, it has to show up.
Yeah, it has to be the fastest thing possible. I'm talking like a can of mushroom soup that is just right out of the can.
Like not even warmed up.
No.
Gross.
If you're hungry, it's efficient. No one talks about efficiency. Like, efficiency is a big deal. And so I'm not wasting time on preparing it.
No.
I just pop it out of the can. It's ready to go. It's filled with...
I hope you rinse out your cans for recycling at least. Do you drink it then?
Oh, no.
Just out of the can? Like, I'm not a savage.
No, you need a spoon. It's like ice cream, except it's mushroom soup.
Yeah. It's quite the description. It's like ice cream, but it's mushroom.
It's like mushroom.
We went to a great ice cream place the other day. That's the type of place that may have actually had
like
cream of mushroom.
Mushroom flavored ice cream is how I think about it.
You would have to.
Yeah.
To convince yourself to down it.
Some caramel drizzle on.
Ew. In a cone.
Just start scooping mushroom soup into a cone.
What are you eating? You get ice cream?
Oh, you sleep so good though. You know, because it's like the earth, and then the mushroom is like pulling the nutrients out of the ground, and then from the ground right into my...
I mean, you got all the food groups in that. Oh, no meat. But you've got dairy, cream of mushroom soup, you got veggies, there's probably some gluten in there.
If I ate it with cold hot dogs, that would be like all the food groups.
Yep.
That's good thinking.
If you could be like posh about it. You know how you get some drinks that have like a little umbrella or a celery stick? You just got a single wiener. Stuck it in the can
with an umbrella
with a pinky raised. Ooh, fancy. It's my bedtime fancy person snack.
So awesome. Or just like you're at like the posh party and like hors d'oeuvres come around and it's just like a little blob of mushroom soup on a cracker. This fancy party.
You probably could get away with that.
Yeah. Just really cool it down and just like cube it. Anyway.
I hardly know it.
Anyways.
All right, one more. How about...
all I'm saying is people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, Mark.
A little something from Desperate Housewives.
Sure.
You mean people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw soda cans?
Shouldn't throw soda cans? See, that work. I heard the audio of that, but no origin song.
That's whatever. Whatever, man. Whatever. We'll get it sorted out later. Don't be too sad. Hey.
Want to play a game?
I do.
Riddle is a game we like to play. It takes a two-part trivia-based question. Requires a two-part but overlapping answer, overlapping by syllable, sound, word, or word. So, for example, last week, episode 213, which was Sail Too Close to the Wind, which we debated whether that was even... You didn't even believe that I had the correct title.
Still up in there.
Sail Too Close to the Wind, we left you with this one. To take an edgy risk on July 4th. To take an edgy risk on July 4th. The idiom was sail too close to the wind. Got it?
No. Tell me again.
to take an edgy risk, which is what Sail Too Close to the Wind meant on July 4th.
Oh, Sail Too Close to the Windependence Day.
That's correct.
Oh, man, that messed me up. I'm like,
And long-time listener, first-time caller, Dangalano actually sent in his guest this week.
we love that guy.
So that was great. All right, I got a couple for today, though.
I've got a couple as well.
You go first. I'll go second.
Okay,
you go third. I'll go fourth.
You're gonna have the dig deep here.
Yeah, I love digging deep. Yo, digging deep.
Miracle Max from The Princess Bride.
I'm with you. Is that the whole thing?
Miracle Max from The Princess Bride lives in Robert Schuller's church.
Ah, love it. Love it. You ready?
Yeah.
Billy Crystal Cathedral.
It's the Billy Crystal Cathedral.
That's what it should be called. That's great. All right, you ready for mine? Here's excuse me, my first one. People in glass houses shouldn't do this because Jesus went this far from his disciples to pray in the Mount of Olives. People in glass houses shouldn't do this because Jesus went this far from his disciples to pray in the Mount of Olives. How far did he go?
Shouldn't throw stones, throw away.
Throw stones, throw. Yeah.
Okay.
Throw stones, throw.
Wow. Is that how far it was? I don't know if that's in the Bible. Okay, I got another one here.
When a stone's throw away. Correct answer.
Ready?
Don't throw stones, throw.
I liked it. I liked it. Did I not show enough appreciation on my face?
I liked it more than you liked it.
I liked it.
Okay, go.
Inmates scheduled for eternity shouldn't do this in a glass house. Inmates scheduled for eternity shouldn't do this in a glass house.
Okay, life sentence.
Inmates scheduled for eternity. This location of inmates scheduled for eternity shouldn't do this in a glass house.
Nice combo.
Thank you.
I see where this is going.
See,
Yeah,
that lit your eyes up.
yeah. See, that's how you react.
Okay, I'll try better next time.
It's Death Throw Stones.
Yeah, it's a weird one,
Think
right?
about that because the TH is on the word
I
death.
know.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Death Throw Stones. Death Throw. Throw Stones. That's a good one.
Yeah, it was out there.
That's legit.
The other one I was gonna somehow rope in like Dr. Dre and Suge Knight.
Death Row Records.
Yeah,
This record company owned by. I'd have got it.
yeah.
Okay, I got one more, but why don't you explain to the world, our tens and tens of people listening, how they can get a hold of us, how they can play along,
You could reach out to us.
or win some stickers.
You could reach out to us on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email us thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebook, the YouTubes, or the Twitters at 3 Minutes Gone.
All right, here's the last one. Try and get it before Skinny does. You have a week. Here it is. This young lady has lost her sheep and shouldn't throw stones.
What?
This young
How was
lady
that?
has lost... I didn't know what that was. Now I get it. This young lady has lost her sheep and shouldn't throw stones.
What? That's crazy. And that is 3 Minutes Gone.
You're ridiculous.
I was acting just
Oh, yeah, no, it was good.
excited for you.
I was happier.
Okay.
Scared me a little. I think I
It
peed.
still works. It still works. Well, we enjoyed putting today's episode together. Get back to work. Okay. I'm Skinny,
I'm Jurassic Mark.
and these are the Village Idioms.
Oh, people in glass houses
Shouldn't
shouldn't
throw
throw
stones
stones because
Last 3 minutes gone.